Hi everyone! Welcome to the Onmyoji Maven Shikigami Spotlight. In this episode, we're going to introduce Onmyoji Arena's newest tank Shikigami, KYONSHI Ani, the master of coffins. KYONSHI Ani shines in AoE crowd control while receiving healing through his abilities. His sustainability plus his ability to be resurrected from the dead allows him and his team to take the opponents to the grave.
Triple kill!
First ability, KYONSHI Amulets. KYONSHI Ani launches 7 burning amulets around him, dealing magic damage to enemies hit and restoring HP according to the amount of HP lost. The amount of health restored with this ability is not affected by the number of enemy units hit by the amulets. Rather, it is dependent on the amount of HP lost by KYONSHI Ani. Thus, the lower the HP, the more health is restored by the amulets. Due to this ability's short cooldown, it can be used repeatedly during team fights for survivability. Second ability, Coffin Smash. KYONSHI Ani lifts his coffin up and smashes it to the ground, dealing magic damage and a knock-up effect for 1 second to enemies within range. Although the casting animation is slow, this ability will not be interrupted by crowd control. This ability is great during ganks and team fights due to its potential to knock up multiple enemies at once.
Knock it off!
Coffin Smash complements his other skills to further disable either the enemy frontline or quickly eliminate the backline due to its long range.
We're a happy hopping family.
Third ability,
Take this!
Coffin Circle. KYONSHI Ani summons a coffin circle at a designated position that lasts for 8 seconds. He can connect himself to the coffin with a chain that increases his movement speed by 25%. When the opponents are penetrated by the chain, it will deal magic damage every 0.5 seconds and a 24% slow effect. In addition, this ability will accumulate KYONSHI force when there are enemy units within the circle. This is sped up when they are penetrated by the chain. KYONSHI force is then used to increase the ability damage and healing effect of his first ability, KYONSHI Amulets. He gains maximum enhancement when a circle is full of KYONSHI force. This skill can charge up to 2 times only. Each coffin circle takes 12 seconds to charge and is not affected by cooldown reduction. Coffin Circle is an initiating skill, supportive skill, and a debuffing skill all in one package. Use this to coincide with the team's clashes to maximize the number of opponents he can penetrate with his chain. This will cripple their mobility and deal a decent amount of magic damage. Although KYONSHI Ani utilizes melee attacks, he can also hurt his opponents from a distance with the chain of his coffin circle. This can also be used to punish players hiding under the turret. However, the coffin's duration will be reduced to 4 seconds when summoned within a turret's range. Ultimate Master of Coffins. KYONSHI Ani's ultimate can be activated once a coffin circle has been placed on the battlefield. This makes him jump on top of the coffin and increase the chain's damage for 8 seconds. During that period, the enemies penetrated by the chain will be immobilized for 1.2 seconds. He is vulnerable to attacks but is immune to crowd control when on top of the coffin. 2 seconds after KYONSHI Ani jumps on top of the coffin, this ability can be used again to dive in the designated direction, knocking up enemies along the path for 0.5 seconds. However, each enemy can only be immobilized once every 6 seconds. If he doesn't dive down within 2 seconds, he will drop beside the coffin. Master of Coffins is KYONSHI Ani's most devastating ability. Not only does it enhance the damage of the coffin circle chain, but it also immobilizes enemy units and may even knock them up afterwards. This ability lets him get into the center of the fights and disable the enemies with his chain for allies to attack.
Killing spree!
It is a highly flexible ability that can shift battles into his team's favor. KYONSHI Ani can use it to protect his allies, shield himself from danger, and disrupt enemy formation.
Unstoppable!
Passive trait, Resurrection. After being sealed, KYONSHI ANI leaves a coffin at the spot and resurrects from it. When he resurrects, he summons a coffin circle and enters the living dead state. During this state, he will lose 25% of his max HP every second and recover HP when the chain deals damage.
What happened?
With KYONSHI ANI's unique passive ability, he can rise from the grave for a few seconds, giving him a chance to take revenge on his enemies and let them join him inside his coffins. While in the living dead state, he can use normal attacks and other damaging abilities on his foes. It also grants him the ability to have 2 coffin circles on the battlefield for higher healing and accumulation of KYONSHI force. This increases the HP recovery of his first ability, allowing him to survive for an additional 1 to 2 seconds.
I heard coffins made of bamboo have better ventilation.
Enemies will often forget about his passive ability and jump on a low-health KYONSHI ANI to try and score an easy kill. However, he can make the opponents regret their decision by slaying them during the living dead state.
Double kill!
When leveling up KYONSHI ANI's abilities, start maxing out both Ability 3 and Ability 1 alternately to accumulate more KYONSHI force, and thus increase the damage and healing effect of Ability 1. At level 3, take Ability 2 but max it out last. Always take Ultimate when available. KYONSHI ANI can go in the top lane or play as a support with an ADC partner in the bottom lane. He can play aggressively early on by zoning out his laning opponent with Coffin Circle and Coffin Smash. This way, he can keep his enemies' health low, leaving them open to his teammates' attacks.
Evil be gone!
KYONSHI ANI is an outstanding initiator thanks to his kit.
Legendary!
For his basic combo, always summon Ability 3 Coffin Circle first in the center of the enemy formation, and penetrate as many opponents as possible with the chain to accumulate KYONSHI force. To prevent them from escaping the chain, swiftly follow up with Ability 2 Coffin Smash to knock them up. Once the coffin is full with KYONSHI force, use Ability 1 KYONSHI Amulets to deal more magic damage and increase the healing effect. Continue to assist in the fight by assaulting the enemies with your auto attacks or any ability that comes off of cooldown. Upon reaching level 6, his ultimate can be inserted in between this combo.
Enemy hero is fallen.
Right after casting Coffin Circle, use the ultimate to jump on top of the coffin to restrain enemies near the chain. Then jump again towards the enemies that were not immobilized to knock them up. Afterwards, use Ability 2 to knock them up again, and then use Ability 1 to deal more magic damage and increase the healing effect. Successfully doing this will set up plenty of kills for your team. KYONSHI ANI's Coffin Smash and Master of Coffins are excellent abilities for providing crowd control during team fights. He can potentially immobilize and knock up most of the enemy team with a well-timed combo. This makes the enemy vulnerable to his allies' follow-up damage. In addition, KYONSHI ANI often stays alive much longer than the enemy team suspects. This allows his team to dish out damage while he lingers on due to the heal provided by the amulets and his resurrection passive. Since KYONSHI ANI is a tank Shikigami, his ability power does not scale well with his abilities. Whenever he initiates, he needs his team to follow up to secure the kill.
Super dive in and attack!
If he gets into the fray by himself, he'll have difficulty in securing the kill and might get sealed. KYONSHI ANI has no dash ability in his kit. Typically, once things get rough, the best way to get out is by using his ultimate ability. He can cast a Coffin Circle away from the enemies first, then leap to the direction of the coffin using his ultimate. After that, he can leap again to another direction, which gives him a large distance to run away. Use it over walls for an even safer escape. However, KYONSHI ANI's ultimate has a long cooldown and is more important to be utilized in team fights. Thus, it is essential to take Flash to help him get out of sticky situations. When both his ultimate and Flash are in cooldown, there are two things he can do to help him escape. 1. He can smash the enemies going near him with his coffin to knock them up, giving him time to get away.
I used to be very smart, then I got hit by an arrow.
Or 2. He can summon a coffin circle and penetrate the foes with a chain to lower their movement speed while raising his own. These 2 techniques may dissuade the enemies from pursuing him. For the equipment, we recommend using any of the following tanky sustain build to play KYONSHI ANI optimally. Use the first one if playing more defensively, use the second set if playing more offensively, and pick the third set if playing as a support. As for the Onmyodo selection, we highly suggest filling the slots with AP for some extra magic damage, and HP to improve his sustain during the early laning phase. For the Onmyodo talents, we advise taking Umbrella Shield, Harass, and Occult Pantramal. To know more about Onmyodos, check out our Ultimate Onmyodo Guide link in the description box below. Lastly, for the battle spells, we recommend using Shift and Flash. As a top laner, Shift is a valuable spell to protect your turret after regaining health and mana at the base, whereas Flash is an indispensable spell for escaping and chasing. So there you have it for KYONSHI ANI, the master of coffins. His abilities allow him to engage in team fights and become a shield for his team even when already KO'd. Utilizing his skill set properly will definitely give your team that sought-after victory.
Triple kill!
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching this video. Also, comment down below which Shikigami you want us to feature next. Hope to see you again in our next episode of Shikigami Spotlight. Thank you for watching!
You can hit me, but don't hit my coffin.